much fun is this to go against Charlie?
Oh, it's you know, I mean, come on, it's amazing. You know, the all-time winningest coach in Mid-American Conference history, a close personal friend and a mentor of mine, I should say. I was telling Brad Golder in a pregame interview that the only reason I'm a college basketball coach is because Charlie Coles gave me the opportunity to be. You know, I was a high school coach in Southern West Virginia and had developed a relationship with Charlie some in the summer, you know, working some of his camps. And in '99, they made it to the Sweet 16, and my team had won a state championship that summer. And I'd been working camp, and it was an opportunity for Charlie offered it to me, and me and my wife just said, "Yeah, let's do it." You know, and our daughter was in the 3rd grade, and we moved away from everybody. I'm talking about my mom, my dad, my in-laws, my sisters, her brother and sisters, and we just took a chance. So I'm the head coach of Saginaw Valley State today because Charlie Coles gave me an opportunity to be an assistant at Miami.
What did he tell you after the game?
What was it he said? None of his usual stuff. He always just said, you know, good job, your guys competed hard, you know. Yeah. And I told him, I said, hey, man, thanks for giving us this opportunity. Yeah. Because it's special, man. It really is. I mean, and he didn't have to do it. You know what I mean? There was just a kindness of his heart and his love for Saginaw, you know, his first place that he'd ever coached at and stuff. So it's I mean, when you get a chance to really soak it in, it's pretty special. I haven't had a chance to soak it in yet, though. I'm still disappointed that we didn't win.
You had a little trouble there in the first, being patient on offense, didn't you, the first part of the game? You got 3 threes.
Well, you know what? I'm kind of I know everybody thinks that, and I guess, you know, if we make 5 more, we're heroes. So I've always been I won't say by any means a do what you want on offense coach, but I like guys to take shots that are shots that they can make. And Mike Schaaf was 0 for 5, but he made 4 or 5 the other day at Minnesota Duluth. Jay Tames is generally a good three-point shooter. Chris Webb is our best three-point shooter. He went 1 for 5. Greg Foster typically is around the 30%. Brett Beeland's a good three-point shooter, and he had a big one late, but he was only 25%. So they add up, of course. George Goodman's a great shooter when he's open and stuff. So we make 5 more of them. Everybody's like, man, they shot some lot of threes, but they made them. I was more extremely disappointed in our defensive rebounding. They got 15 offensive bounds. That's the kicker of the game. That's why we lost, because we gave up 15 offensive rebounds, and one of them specifically we had cut it to 8 or 9. They missed it. They threw it around. Harris hits a 3. Now you're back down 12, you know, if you get it cut. I mean, you know, I know. So those really add up. And we made some very bad mental lapses defensively. Under out of bounds play, a guy that scores. That never happens against. I mean, that's the first time it's happened against us. And I'm talking about a guy that flashes and scores. You know, I have a pet peeve about that. That's why that guy was guarding him, come over and sat with me. So I'm more disappointed in the way we played defensively than the threes that we took. Mavunga's really good, man. He's really, really good. I mean, he's first team all-league. And let me tell you the bad news about Mavunga. I recruited him to Miami. I mean, seriously, I did. Oh, yeah. I recruited Julian. I spent a year and a half recruiting him. I know his mom, his dad. I had him to campus like 3 or 4 times. And then what happened was I had recruited him all summer. And then I'd been recruiting him on the AAU circuit. We had his official visit set up in October. And SVSU had that late opening, and I got hired. I didn't get officially hired until September 10th. So they were a month into school. That's that first year. I only had 6 scholarship players. We had 7, but I threw 1 off the team a weekend. So what happened was when I got offered a job by Mike, and my wife and I discussed it and I accepted it, Julian Mavunga was the first person that I called. I didn't call my dad. I didn't call Coach Coles had already told me to take it. And I called Julian and said, look, man, because I developed a close relationship with him, I said, I want to tell you something. I said, I've accepted a head coaching job at Saginaw Valley State University, but that has nothing to do with you coming to Miami. You know, I recruited you to Miami, number 1, because of Charlie Coles, number 2, because of the school and the great basketball program. And he was like, oh, coach, you know, because we had developed a good relationship. I said, no. And next person I called was his high school coach. Say, hey, man, talk with Julian. Here's the deal. Well, Julian visited in October, and then that weekend he committed. Well, then I get a phone call on my cell phone, and I'm like, Coach Coles. It was Charlie Coles. And in his voice he says, Frankie, you carried the ball 99 yards, and then you handed it off to us, and we carried it into the end zone and got a touchdown. Mavunga just committed to us, and that's exactly how he said it. He said, you carried the ball 99 yards. So I had recruited Julian. When I came and shoot around today, he came up and gave me a hug and stuff, and I was teasing Charlie. Mavunga's best friend's mother passed, and they had to hold the bus up yesterday for Julian to go to the funeral. So I jokingly told Charlie, I said, man, you didn't have enough respect for Julian to let him stay and mourn. You should have let him stay, man. He didn't need to come on this trip. And he said, and then what he said, well, if Foster was coming back from Indianapolis, you'd have waited on him. I said, okay, you're right, Coach. You know what I mean? And we can kind of joke with each other like that stuff.
Playing 3 games, 4 nights. Kind of tough on the team tonight?
It was. We were fortunate in that, typically we're much more blessed now that guys like George Goodman, Brett Beelan, were without one of our really good guys off the bench, Sean Romzik, who suffered a concussion but is supposed to start practice tomorrow without contact, and he could potentially dress Saturday and can definitely play next week against Lake State. So my point is, our younger players, George Goodman and then Rob Clark from Saginaw High. So they've been able to give guys minutes Friday night and Saturday night in our win. And what we did when we got back yesterday, we got back late Saturday night. So we got back at 3 o'clock in the morning Sunday, and I let the guys rest, and the coaches met, and we got things together, and we showed a film edit, and then we had the team to my house and we watched the Xavier Miami game that I had DVR'd, and we fed them. We didn't even walk on the court yesterday because of their legs, and then today we had a pretty good shoot around. I don't think that we looked tired tonight. Here's the thing: the only reason it was 3 and 4 days was this was the only date Miami could play. It was the only date because they have to go to, I think they go to Southwest Missouri or someone this weekend, and they couldn't play like Tuesday and Thanksgiving. So my point was, if it meant playing 3 and 4 to get Miami to come here, we'll do it. Yeah.
Coach, Indiana opponent to 10 there, with about 2 minutes left, and really kind of getting back in that game. Were you happy with that?
Yeah, I was happy with our effort. I just wanted us, after we cut it to 10, I want us to get that rebound that we. The old. I'm not very big into NASCAR, but once a guy, Tony Stewart, and the other guy, did you see their interview the other day? And they were asking Tony Stewart, what was the other guy's name that's competing against him for the Sprint Cup?
Jimmy Johnson, maybe?
Anyway, whoever it was, they asked Tony Stewart, what would you do to win? I want to win, guys. I'm sorry. What would you do to win the Sprint Cup? He said, I'd wreck my mom. Well, I would. If my mom tried to take a charge, I'd run over if we could have won tonight. I hope that doesn't sound bad, but that's the Smith blood in me. I expect to win. I really, really do. And I'll be honest with you, President Gilbertson and Mike Watson didn't bring me here to go 500 every year. And we got a lot of good, now I don't think anybody in our league has played the pre-conference we've played. The number 1 team in the nation, Bellarmine, and played decent, and then we cut it to, I don't want to talk that way, we cut it to 6, and they beat us by 15. They beat us. We played horrible against Parkside, horrible. We played one of the best games that any of my teams have ever played since I've been at SVSU in 5 years, Saturday night, against a very good Minnesota Duluth team. Same day the football team played them, ironically, and beat them and played really, really well. And had a lot of guys. We had 5 guys in double figures, and we contributed well. And then we played we're not going to play anybody in our league better than Miami. So I think that we're positioning ourselves with some of the experiences that we've had through these 4 games, and to where we can hopefully be pretty good in our league.
What do you need between now and the time to start the league play?
We gotta be consistently good on defense. We're not okay. For example, for the game, we gave up 50% from the field. We're not beating anybody if we give up 50%. We're not going to beat them. That means that 1 out of every 2 shots they're going to make. You're not going to beat anybody giving up 52%. Now, we have played very good teams, and we were second or third in the league last year in defensive field goal percentage. The year before, we were second. You know what I mean? So we should be in those top 3. We have played good opponents, so we just have to focus, and we can't beat. We have to stop. My big thing is defensive field goal percentage. If we can hold teams to 40 or under, we're going to win. If they get 46, 50, we probably ain't going to win. I'm a numbers guy when it comes to statistics. They had 20 turnovers and we gave up the offensive boards. So we'll be rebounding tomorrow is what we're going to be doing. And we're going to be rebounding Thursday morning for Thanksgiving dinner. And then we're going to be rebounding Friday. And then we better rebound against Cedarville because we're going to come in Sunday because we got to practice, and we're going to be rebound Sunday.
Other things you worked out.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing that's mind-blowing is that we were Minnesota Duluth, that was number one key to victory, box out every time. At halftime, Duluth had one offensive rebound, and we were up 10. It ain't rocket science. You know what I mean? They didn't get very many second shots. I think they ended up with 10 or 12 on the night, which is low. So we have to make sure we box out better and have a focus on it.